Hello my gorgeous ones, welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia here on my channel. I love affordable fashion, beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I have more Alter Ego products to test out for you guys today. Now, if you don't know what Alter Ego is, it is an affordable dupe inspired by palettes type of brand. They do also have lippies. I'll show you some here in a minute. But in a past video, I did one that was inspired by an ABH palette, Natasha Denona. But today they've actually sent over the Mirage palette that is an inspired by palette to the Huda Empowered Palette. So here is what she looks like. As you can see, if you're familiar with that palette from Huda Beauty, you can see that this is very similar, not exact, but very similar in colors, tones. And then they also sent over a bunch of lippies as well, liquid lipsticks. And I'm going to show you swatches of these and create a couple of looks. So if you're interested in this affordable makeup brand, a little alternative to some of the more expensive brands that we love, keep on watching. Okay, first up, the liquid lipsticks. In my previous video, they had actually sent over the shade Crush. Is this it? Yes, this is it right here. So I'd already tried this one and I really did like the formula. The shade for me wasn't like my ideal shade, but I did like the formula and I said I would like to try some of their others, and they sent all of them over. So I actually already have them swatched right here. I'm just gonna turn my skin here. I did this for a video for like a reel, and so I wasn't thinking about showing it to you guys, but it was convenient because it was already on my arm. So here's what the shades look like. I find this to be a pretty comfortable matte lipstick. It's not super ultra drying. It's also not very hydrating either. I mean, really no liquid lipstick is like a matte is going to be. But my advice is just put a gloss over it. If it's too drying for you, you can always put a gloss or like a lip plumper. And that's just one of my go-tos because I love how matte lipsticks look on. And I like to take pictures, but then throughout the day, I need a gloss on top and it just solves that dryness issue. So Crush is this one right here. And that is this top shade. So it's like a corally pink. Then next up right here, we have Euphoria. So this is kind of a bit of a brownish mauve. Like there's a little bit of a rosiness to it, but it's more brown than this more truer mauve underneath. That one is the shade Jealousy. So this one is Jealousy. Then we have the shade Intrigue. That is the most like brown, like a warm brown shade right here. Then we have a deep vampy shade, and that is Vanity. Really pretty. And then this last one right here is the shade Infamous. And this is like a deep berry red. So I'm really excited to pick out a couple of those. I'm gonna do 2 looks, I think, with this palette. And I'm gonna do one look today and another look tomorrow for you guys. And then I'll have a lot of fun picking out what lipstick shade to pair with it. But let's take a look at this palette now. So just like the Huda Empowered Palette, you have shimmers in here, you have some foiled metallics, you have mattes, and then you also have these 2 cream shades, like you also see in the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions palettes. So it's that kind of like to serve as a base. You know, you could also probably use this as a liner as well, would be my thought. So I really like that. I haven't really played with that too much. I used to have the Major Dimensions. I don't use them anymore, but they have a cream in there and I didn't get to use them too much. Then you have the Danessa Myricks Groundworks that came out that has a cream formula. So I think it's really neat that they did include that in this palette. By the way, I was gonna let you guys know, this is $24. The Empowered palette, I'm not positive, and I'm assuming it's around $60. somewhere around there. I'm sure I'll have it on the screen to compare. So that is a much better price. And then I do also now have a code. If you want to use that, it's Budget Beauty. So, but first let's test this before I say go use the code. Okay, so for today, I think I'm gonna stick with a little bit of the warmer side on here. And then tomorrow I may do more of these deeper shades here. And I am going to then go in with, let's do Arid right here. So I am gonna do a bit of powder before I go in. Ooh, that is some good pigment, you guys. I'm gonna go in with the powder formula before I venture into those creams. And I'm gonna use the cream on the lid as a base for the shimmer to see what that does. But wow, that is some amazing pigment. Right off the bat, it reminds me of the Sahara palette. That is another one of the palettes that they sent over that I tested out in the video with the 3 palettes, and that was my favorite. It was a very neutral palette, but the pigment was so good and I was so impressed. That was my favorite out of the 3 that I've tried before. And just, yeah, this like automatic pigment right here is reminding me of that. So that has me excited. All right, next I'm gonna take Wonder right here, kind of similar shade. And I'm just gonna blend that in. Okay, this one is, they are similar, but they really blend together really, really nicely. Okay, I'm liking this quality a lot. Then I'm gonna take Clay, this little bit lighter shade, and kind of blend that in this inner portion. I love how peachy this is leaning too. I mean, it looks very neutral, but it's definitely peachy, not just browns, which I think is pretty. And I do also like that this is a very warm and cool tone palette. Now I wanted the Empowered palette and I went back and forth, and then I decided not to get it, and I kept hearing mixed things. Like some people were like, it's amazing. Other people said like the tones weren't what they thought it was gonna be. And so I held off, I never got it, but it's one that I always kind of thought about and kind of wished that maybe I got. All right, now let's let that airplane fly over. It's being all noisy. The disrespect I get every time I'm filming videos. I already had to stop a minute ago because my husband was coming home and the dog was going crazy. All right, now I'm going to do Dunes right here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, you know what? I already stuck the brush in it. So yeah, I'm gonna go in the crease then with that one. This is a little bit more of a true neutral right here. A little bit more cool toned than the first ones. Okay, since I had already stuck the brush in there, we'll just go with it. Okay, now what I meant to go in actually was this one right here, this deeper brown. It's called Bush. And we're just going to lay that down in this outer corner. Again, I am very, very impressed with this formula. It is so nice. It's richly pigmented. They blend well, very easily. And you guys, honestly, I do like Huda's formula for like these size of palettes. I don't always love their like little ones, but I like them. I don't think it's like the most amazing formula ever, but I like their formula enough to keep the palettes. I usually like their color stories, but they are pretty pricey, honestly. I mean, they're right around Natasha Denona price. and I definitely don't think they're that good. Okay, let's see. I'm actually going to, I think I'm gonna go back in with that first shade real quick and just kind of extend this out a little. Exaggerate that part somewhat, and then kind of blend that deeper part out. Okay, that looks good. Now, lower lash line. I think I've used all the mattes over here. So I'm actually gonna pick up this one from this side. It is this shade Tomb. Since it's still a neutral, it kind of looks like it could belong over here with the other more like neutral and peachy shades. That's really pretty. I love how kind of sand dune this looks. Really, oh, that is a really, really pretty shade. I like that a lot. I'm really impressed with these mattes. Very, very, very impressed so far. Okay, but we haven't gotten to the cream. Okay, so for the cream, let's go with Crypt, the brown one. It's pretty deep. It's pretty rich and deep. So I'm just going to, golly, it's got a lot of pigment to it. Okay, I'm going to lay that in this kind of open lid area. And then pick a shimmer. Okay, take it a little bit higher. It's kind of hard to get up there. It might be better to use a brush just to get up into that crease area. Okay, before that dries out too much. Oh, kind of like really, not stains, but it's not like a cream that you go like this and it's just like greasy and disappears. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in with Heat, this gold, because it looks really, really pretty. And let's lay that on, ooh, child. Okay, that is so pretty. I don't know if it's that base that's making it that golden, but if it's making it pop, which I'm sure it is, because I think that's the purpose of having it in the palette. Wow, it just really accentuates that, and it almost turns it like a hint, because when you have a black base and you put a gold, there's like a hint of that like antique gold green that comes out. So that is really, really cool. Okay, I'm impressed. Then I'm going to take Pyramid and just kind of pop that. It's kind of hard to get to with that finger. Okay, this one's more, this one's more gold, while the other one is like a brighter, at least on that green, it turns a brighter green gold. Okay, and I kind of got some of that Pyramid in this inner corner already, but I'm gonna just take Heat, this one right here, on a, where's that brush? Here it is. On this little brush, and put a little bit of that, ooh, getting a little kick up there, or quite a bit. Just tap that off. Let's see. Doesn't show up a whole lot in the inner corner of that shade. It's kind of more of like a traditional peachy sort of shimmer. Have a little bit of fallout from that gold. But I do think that's pretty. Okay, I am going to, I think, stop there, do liner, lashes, and then I'll pick out a lip and come back and show you the final look for the first look with the Mirage palette. Okay guys, before I put on my false lashes, I did go ahead and use the cream to do just like a slight liner. It worked so well. I'm so very impressed. really, really impressed. Okay, let me put on the lashes and the lip. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, the lashes are on. Here is what the look looks like. So pretty. I decided to go with the vampy looking lip because the eyes are, you know, they're still bright, not too dark. Tomorrow I'm going to do the more vampy eye and then maybe the more neutral lip. So I went vampy lip with this eye. I do have a correction to make though. Earlier when I was showing you guys swatches, I switched up too. So the one that I am wearing is the deepest shade in the swatches, and it is Infamous. The one that was more of the red is Vanity. So I switched those earlier. But you guys, I'm loving this look. I think this is also so fall appropriate. And I ended up using a bunch of these shades. I used all of these over here plus this one. So tomorrow I will try to use all the ones I haven't touched yet. And I think tomorrow's will be kind of more like spooky season vampy looking, while this is more fall. But as I was using this, I'm like, this is a beautiful fall color story. It really is. And I am kind of blown away. Oh, and I did look it up. The Empowered Palette's $69 and this is $24. So far so good, but let's get into lit number 2. Okay guys, day number 2, I'm forced to be in this space again. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, you know sometimes I have to film in here. It is a sound issue. There is too much noise going on in my driveway, so I cannot film, unfortunately, in front of my big natural windows, which is where I prefer to film. But you know, show goes on. I gotta do the second look for you guys, but I promise I will do like a music over. I'll go in front of those windows I was in front of yesterday where the lighting's really good, and I'll make sure I show you the full look with the music going so you can see it in the best light. But moving on, we are just gonna go into look number 2, and I'm definitely gonna play with some of these that I did not play with yesterday. So I am going to go in with Nirvana right here, and I'm going to start laying that down in the crease, upper crease. This is a really pretty, like, it's a mauve, but it also kind of leans like a neutral mauve, so it's not, I mean, it's not like completely a purple. It's just like a gorple. Let's call it a gorple. Can that be a word? Like blurple, but gorple, like a grayish purple. I really like that. Now I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna, I think I will throw in just a little bit of a warm tone too, instead of keeping it all cool toned. I just wanted to make sure that I used as many shades in the palette as possible, and I primarily went with those warmer shades yesterday. So I'll make sure I use all the mattes on this side that are cooler toned first, but I do think that mixing in the like warm peachy orange in here with this would be really cool. I'm not sure where I'm gonna mix it in, but I might do that. Now, since I'm going for a slightly more dramatic with this look, pretty much the same layout, but I'm just gonna like sweep it out a little bit wider to make this more dramatic. Okay, next I am gonna go in with Stone right here. So Stone is one of those mattes with like a little bit of sparkle, which honestly, they're never my favorite. I don't know. I just feel like there's never enough sparkle where you really notice the sparkle. And sometimes some of these formulas for me can be not as good as just a traditional regular matte without the sparkle. And so I'm like, what's the point? But so far, I mean, I don't see any sparkle on the eye with this. Like I was saying, it just kind of disappears, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the quality. Like that is some grade A pigment right there. I'm just going to kind of extend this out and meet this first shade out here. Okay, I caught up the other eye. I think this is looking really, really fun. I feel very I Dream of Jeannie, like my big old high ponytail and then this kind of like 60s cat eye here. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Endless, this deepest brown matte, and I'm just going to kind of clean up and deepen up this crease. Just make sure that this is blended nice. We're going for pretty, I keep dipping in the wrong shade here. We're going for pretty smoky here. I'm gonna use this shade also on the lower lash line. Okay, so I use that to go ahead and line underneath. I love this eye shape. I love this smoky look, but I think I'm just gonna try this. I'm just kind of curious. I think I'm gonna take Wonder, this like warm shade here, and I just wanna see what it would look like to kind of blend underneath this line, just to kind of soften those edges a little bit. I think that looks kind of cool. It takes it like slightly, ever so slightly warmer. Just down here. I did like a little bit of something. I think that looks neat. Just because I do really like how this eye look is going. I thought about popping something warm in here. Actually, let's just go for it. That's what we're here for, right? I'm gonna take Arid, and I'm just gonna put that right here. Oops, I keep sticking it in the wrong one. Okay, yeah, let's take, I'll show you on this side. Just along this edge here. I think that looks kind of neat. It's very subtle, but I think that looks cool. Okay, now for the fun part, I'm gonna take the black cream, and this time I am gonna try this brush and take the flat side of it and just lay it down. Okay, yeah. A brush is definitely easier when you want to be precise about exactly where you're laying this cream down. And this is going to serve as a base for our shimmers. This is very opaque. Very, very opaque black. Okay, make it right. I like this brush because it has like a little point at the end, and I can kind of get it right there in the crease. This is so much more helpful than using the finger. Okay, perfect. That would kind of look cool just like that. You could leave it like that, but we have to play with these shimmers. So actually, let me just look what these look like. We have Odyssey, that's that kind of weird marbled one, and Conquer. Okay, let me actually, I need to see what these look like in action here. Okay, that one didn't swatch as well. Let me try that again. That almost just turns out, well, it does have a shift. It's got a black base, obviously, and then it, so I do want to see what they both look like. Okay, so I'm gonna take Conquer, that deep one, and just kind of lay this. It's super deep. It's kind of hard to see the purple on top of this black because it is another black base shadow. So yeah, if you want something super deep, of course, if this was on the eye without the black cream, it might be like a tad more purple. Then let's go in with the Odyssey. It's the marbled shade. It brightens it up just a little, not a ton. These are a little bit different. They're not as impactful, sparkly as like the gold shades. That's still keeping it pretty deep and dark. Because I haven't gone in with Sirocco. It's this weird one with this little divot. I do want to see. Ooh, this is like a cream. This is like a cream shimmer. I did not expect that. This is a bronze. That is actually really cool. There's so many textures in here. Yeah, this is like a cream to powder. Okay, that's actually unexpected and kind of cool. I like that. It actually, when it goes into the purple, looks pretty neat. And then Cleopatra is this lightest shimmer. This is the last shade that we have not touched in here. Otherwise, I have used every shade in here. And we're just going to pop this here in the corner. I'm kind of digging how this looks. You guys will, like I said, I'm going to show you in the better lighting and then like with the lashes on and stuff, but I think this is going to look super, super cool when you guys can really tell what this looks like in the good lighting. Okay, I'm loving this. All right, I'm going to finish this eye. I'm going to choose my lip, my lashes, and you'll do the little, or you'll see the music voiceover and from the good lighting, and then we'll come back, wrap it up, and give you my final thoughts about Mirage and these lipsticks from Alter Ego. Oh my goodness, you guys, good news. The sound outside stopped where I can go ahead and show you guys the look and also have a little combo with you guys right here in the lighting that I like. I love this look. I think it is so, so fun. Okay, my final thoughts about this palette. You guys, this palette has blown me away. I'm so serious. So now this is the 4th Alter Ego palette I have used, and by far it's the best. I really liked Sahara a lot. This is next level for $24. These cream shadows are so fun to use. I love how they make the shimmers look. The mattes are excellent. To be honest, other than like, say my Natasha Denona, my Blend Bunny, like these higher end mattes, like these are some of the best mattes I've ever used in a palette that is under, I'd say under $40 for sure. It may be the best mattes I've ever used under 40. It is incredible. And what is my dog doing? Okay, sorry. It's like all I heard was like scratching. And then I really love, you have all these different textures in here. These golds are gorgeous. I think it's fun that they threw in this kind of like cream type of shimmer here. Beautiful. So on the lips, I went with, this shade is Jealousy. So it is a deep mauve shade. I think all of these lip shades actually go perfectly with this palette. You could really use any single one of these and it would be a good fit. And I wore my matte yesterday and it is dry. Yes, it's matte, but it never felt like it was just ultra dry. So, and then especially if you put like a little gloss on top, you're good to go. You guys, if you did not get the Empowered Palette by Huda and you always felt like you missed out, get this instead. I'm telling you, I haven't tried the Empowered by Huda, but I have other Huda palettes, and I think these mattes are better than Huda's mattes. I really do. So I'm very impressed. Again, I do have a code BUDGETBEAUTY, so it'd be even cheaper than $24 if you want to grab that. Also, I approve of the liquid lipsticks. You guys will have to let me know which one is your favorite look. I definitely think it's this one for me. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.